This is Uncouth Tangents. I am your host, Dove.
And I'm B.
Welcome to the show.
Woo woo!
You start this time because...
Wait, why do I start this time?
Because, gosh, I'm just always talking.
I think you're the heart of the show, to be honest.
Well,
I'm just the annoying voice of the show that screws up and doesn't know how to speak in the background.
There are two hearts in this Frankenstein. So, you gotta have both.
Well, I prefer more like a cow, that we have like 6 stomachs.
I thought they had 4.
What am I thinking of?
A mythological beast of some sort?
Pretty sure unicorns have 6 stomachs.
Probably.
That's what makes their poop so rainbow.
Okay.
So, wait, you had just seen Guardians of the Galaxy, right?
Yes, I did.
You are just shaking with excitement. I have no idea what's going on.
Shaking with excitement. It's my massive muscles. They're quivering because they're excited.
What's your review?
Oh, wow. Well, I don't want to give any spoilers to anyone that hasn't
Groot
seen
dies
it
again.
yet. So
It's amazing how many times Groot dies in this movie.
well,
It's like each frame is his death. It's really painful.
like an episode of South Park.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's just him constantly dying.
So if you haven't seen it yet, then you should probably fast forward.
I don't know, let's give you like 5 minutes.
I guess. Well, whatever. We'll see what happens. The movie, it was awesome. Every scene with Baby Groot was my favorite scene. He was just so cute, adorable, and hilarious.
I'm sorry, really quick. Apparently I don't know how to drink coffee.
Oh, right. Are you okay now?
Yes, I am fine.
Okay. Yet every scene that I saw with Nebula,
Who's Nebula?
Nebula's the blue lady.
Oh my god, I totally forgot she was in the movie.
Yeah, I didn't necessarily... I get why she was in the movie, because there had to be a push forward for Gamora's backstory, and it's a movie about family. You know, like the Guardians of the Galaxy, they're all family, and Yondu, he's family to Quill, and the whole concept is about family, so I get why she's in there. However, at the same time, her character just seemed, to me personally, was just a little more annoying than she was in the first movie. I think it just would have been more of an interesting story if they did something like Thanos wanted Gamora back, and so he sent, some kick-ass people to go find her, and she's trying to fend them off because she's found her new family, or something like that. I don't know, it just seemed like they were really pushing her to be in the movie. And although the storyline, worked, they worked it out, I didn't think it worked as well as her character in the first movie.
Mm-hmm.
So that was about it. But outside of that, I loved it. I think the soundtrack in the first one will forever be, remembered as kind of like the best or the better soundtrack. They already picked all of the best ones that they could for the first one. And so the second one is more like, a little
continuation,
little leftover bits. Right. Right. But still awesome film.
So I kind of have almost an opposite effect. I guess I'm just more harsh on movies. I didn't hate it. I found it very enjoyable, but I did not think it was as good as everybody is hyping it up to be. And that's mainly because my huge problem with movies like this is everybody has to have like a little soliloquy wherein they have to explain all of their emotions and their motives. And this is a movie. You're supposed to show that. Don't write a paragraph of dialogue for somebody to monologue and explain a bunch of stuff. Like, I felt like that was a huge sticking point, and it rubbed me the wrong way each time.
Do you have an example of that?
There's one where Yondu's talking to Trash Panda, and he's just like, you and me, we're exactly the same. And I'm like,
oh, yeah.
Well, then show that. Stop explaining it. James Gunn, the director and writer of the movie, knows how to write really good, short, snappy dialogue. But each character kind of acts the same, and each character is given the same monologue. So it becomes a little redundant a lot through the whole movie. Overall, it's totally fine. If you want like a fun action movie that can poke fun at itself, I think it's fine in that respect. But as like a legitimate movie, the cinema, the art of the cinema, it's not great. It's barely passes as good because it has a beginning, middle, and end, which is far more than I can say for Batman v Superman. That is a movie that rambles to no end and then doesn't remember where it started.
I have to see it.
Batman v Superman is awful.
You know what? I didn't want to see it because of Ben Affleck.
He's actually one of the best parts of the movie.
Oh.
And that's how disappointing the movie is now.
Hurts.
He's legitimately like a good part of the movie.
Oh.
He plays a very suave Bruce Wayne, and he kills a lot of people as Batman.
Okay.
People will tell me like, nah, Batman doesn't kill in that movie. He shoots a bunch of people point blank, both in a dream sequence and not in a dream sequence.
Did he used to kill people in the comics?
Like in the 1930s and 40s, back when it was hella awesome.
He just pulls out a gun, blam!
Yeah. There's one comic book story where he's like, oh, I'm in a gas chamber and everything is highly explosive. Let me use this gun to shoot off this lock.
Okay.
As you can expect, yeah, the thing blows up. But he's, totally fine because he's Batman. God damn it.
Okay. Yeah, I get what you're saying about Guardians of the Galaxy, which may be one of the reasons why I really liked Baby Groot, because it was more.
It's a lot of sight gags.
Yeah, it was more expressions. When he throws up after the whole warp sequence, that was one of my favorite parts.
They're great like little sight gags. Like James Gunn is good at that. But if you ask him to try and come up with like anything further than just really basic characters, because I mean, for a movie about family and everything like that, nobody really comes together except for the last 5 minutes of the movie, which is like not enough.
That's like a real family.
Well, no, what I mean is like that part of the fun part of Guardians of the Galaxy is seeing them all interact with each other, and we don't get that. We get Peter Quill goofing off with his dad, not wanting to hang out with anybody. Rocket's just by himself for a huge chunk of the movie with Gamora's sister. The whole person I didn't remember was in the movie. Like there's like things that are just not being utilized well.
Okay.
Just for the purpose of, I kind of want to see this trash panda go to town on these guys.
Yeah.
And like it comes to nothing because there's a lot of like useless parts of the movie that could be edited down. We do this within our own work. We try to refine, try to make sure that like whatever we say is the absolute most important thing that can get across. And this movie it's totally fine to have fun and like stop every so often, but it loses sight of itself. Focus on one character and give me that A storyline. There could be B plot lines, C plot lines, whatever. The A storyline was so weak, I didn't feel any happiness of him finding his dad. It's supposed to be this big reveal, and it's not. Anyways, I'm really harsh on movies. Don't trust my reviews.
No, that's fine. That's totally fine. I think it's a good thing to hear like a harsher opinion on these things, because everyone is mostly just going to say, "Oh yeah, it was great. I had a great time. I went to the movies, bought popcorn, candy."
Yeah, and that's the whole point. That's what you want from a Marvel movie. That's what a lot of people want from a Marvel movie. But I mean, we're in this art, and we have to be as hard on each other so that we can get the best out of each other.
That's very true. Hence why I say Nebula's character sucked. Did you feel that way about the first one? Not that her character sucked. I thought she was fine in that. But, I mean, as far as, like, what you're putting together for the second one, as far as, like, unity with a story, like a main story with B plots, did you feel that way for the first one?
The first one, I thought was actually okay. It was a little bit, it came together more of a storyline. The only sticking point I would have, which is, this is with a lot of movies, and it's a fine thing. Like, you kind of expect this nowadays, is that everybody just comes together a little too easily. They were all super abrasive. Like, in the time span of like 15 minutes, they're all of a sudden best friends.
In the first one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're literally like trying to kill each other, and then they all get thrown into jail, and then all of a sudden we're best friends.
Yeah, well, it's only 2 hours. You gotta, you gotta.
I know, that's why I'm like, to fast forward things, yeah, you could probably do that. But there's like nice things to shortcut that. My favorite explanation of this is Step Brothers, when they kind of they stop being adversaries, and they're like, did we just become best friends? That's my favorite part. And with Batman v Superman, that's how I feel. Like, there's literally a moment where, like, did you say Martha? On the count of 3, say your favorite mom. 1, 2, 3. Martha! Did we just become best friends? Yes, we did!
Yes, we did!
So that's essentially what happens in Batman v Superman. Like, I bring that up because it's probably the worst comic book movie I've seen in a long time.
Wow, okay.
And unfortunately, Batman is attached to... Huh?
I said I hated Step Brothers, by the way.
What?
Yeah, it's just...
it's a movie I can understand.
It's just Will Ferrell.
I can totally understand that.
That's about it. The other guy whose name I've totally forgotten right now.
John C. Reilly.
Yeah, I actually like him.
Yeah, he's a fun character. Everything I see him in, I just want to see more of. But I understand that, like, he's probably not main character worthy. But that being said, I really want to watch Kong. Is it just called Kong?
It is. I saw that. I think it's just called Kong. I don't remember, but I did see it. Yeah, he was cool in that. And surprisingly, I really liked him in Chicago. He was
I totally forgot he was in that.
Yeah, he was a character in that too. So he's pretty cool. But I'm sorry, I cut you off earlier. What were you saying?
No, I was just thinking, like, I've only seen the trailer for Kong, and just from what I've seen of that, and from what people have told me, I think I'm just happy watching the trailer. Like, I don't think I need to see the whole movie. I like to imagine whatever the rest of it is.
I don't think you need to either. I mean, how many times has the story of King Kong been told and retold?
That's true.
Yeah, I mean, it started with the college rule paper cutouts of King Kong and the little tiny people. And that's how they made their movies back then. I mean, this story has been told tons of... Oh, where's that Godzilla? I don't know. Either way...
Godzilla's a deep, deep story. If you see the original Gojira, like, it's super deep.
Yeah.
I was watching this documentary on it, and it was really interesting to hear why Godzilla looks the way he does. And he purposely doesn't have scales because he's not really a lizard necessarily. His skin is actually the texture of a burn victim.
Oh.
And, like, thinking about how close this was producing this movie after Hiroshima and all that stuff, and like this, yeah, it's like really deep. Wow. And as to like even the shape of his head, because when he first comes up on the screen, it actually just the outline silhouette of just his head is actually is a mushroom cloud. I'm doing my hand gestures again.
Yeah, no, go ahead, do it again.
All right. So like his head is just the top part of the mushroom, and then his neck is like. It goes up to that, so
the
that's why his
shaft.
Yeah, the mushroom shaft. I guess I don't know what it's called. I don't know if funguses.
Legumes.
Legumes.
No, it's a fungus. Whoops. Well, whatever.
Well, anyway, speaking of trailers, a listener had contacted us earlier about us kind of viewing the Game of Thrones Season 7 trailer. So we'll watch that, and we'll give our opinions. You can kind of watch it in real time with us. And thank you for joining us again, people who were not listening to spoilers for Guardians of the Galaxy. By the way, Groot dies like 12 times in the first 10 minutes.
Tune back in. Also, I'm shaking with excitement. I love Game of Thrones so much.
Oh, you want to set this up a little bit?
Wait, before you play the trailer, who's your favorite character?
In the book, it's Hot Pies.
Great. Didn't read the book. Who's your favorite character in the show?
He is in the show.
Oh, wait, I know Hot Pies. I know. Okay. Was that his name in the show?
Yeah.
Okay. I think it was just one of those characters where they really didn't, I guess, say his name very often.
He was just a fat kid.
But I know exactly who you're talking about.
His introduction in the books is I kicked a guy so hard in the balls he died.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah.
Okay, so I at least read that much of the books. I kind of skipped around a bit because I listened to the audiobooks, and the person that was reading the book was awful, so I had to stop.
I like his grandfather's sensibility.
Ugh.
I might be the only one who likes this. I might have bad taste, according to everybody else.
No, I got through one book, but then when I tried to listen to the rest of them, it just... No, it didn't. But that was the same guy that kept changing the...
Yes, I will never forgive him for that.
Yeah,
that
changing
being
the
said,
voices
I
of
despise
the
him
characters.
because I initially thought that he was aging the characters up, and I was like, "Oh my god, that's so smart of him," because he did the first 3 books back to back, and then he came back later to do 4 and 5.
Yeah, mm-hmm.
And I thought he was aging these characters up. No, he totally forgot.
Yeah, I mean, he makes Tyrion sound like a leprechaun.
So here's the thing: he's actually in the show.
This guy,
yeah,
that's doing the
he's
narration.
appeared in the show, yeah, a couple
Really?
times. He's one of the old maesters at the Red Keep.
Not the main one.
Not the main one. No, at some castle, he was an old maester, just in the
one
background.
Of them.
Yeah,
One of the castles.
Roy Dotrice.
Oh, I remember that name.
That's
Oh.
yeah.
Ooh. Okay.
Anyway, so who's your favorite character?
Jon Snow. And
Typical. That's so typical. Every
I love
lady.
him so much.
It's every lady is either
Well,
it's Arya Stark or Jon Snow.
Oh, that was going to be my second one. But then Daenerys. So I have multiple favorites, if that's a thing. Of course it's a thing. I can do what I want. So yeah, so Daenerys, Jon Snow, Arya Stark. Yeah, I like those characters. So it may be a better question of who I like the least, but either way, I want to watch the trailer now.
Okay, well, I'm going to keep holding it up by explaining, like...
Ooh, shaking with excitement. Okay.
All right. So, for those that are tuning in at home, we're starting the trailer.
Are we describing what's happening in
No,
the
you
trailer?
don't have to describe it. People
No,
can
but
just
it's just
watch
going to
it.
be like dead air. That's fine?
No, you can just talk through it.
Okay, just talk.
Yeah, you can talk through this. You don't need to
Can I
explain
just shake
anything.
with excitement through the trailer?
Yeah, just, notes for later. Maureen is shaking throughout this entire trailer.
Okay.
She had to use the bathroom before that we recorded just to make sure nothing happened. Okay, starting now.
Enemies to the east. Enemies to the west. Enemies to the south. Enemies to the north.
Wait, did she say east?
Whatever stands in
All
our
of them.
way, we will defeat it. We're the last Lannisters.
Cersei.
The last ones who
you go, boy.
I was
Doors.
born to rule the Seven Kingdoms. And I will.
Because she hasn't seen Sand in forever.
Yes, Danny.
Oh! I don't know why they needed that sound effect, but okay.
Must introduce Jon Snow.
Against the coming storm.
If we don't put aside our enmities and band together, we will die.
I really like Davos too.
Davos is a super cool character.
Yeah, he's awesome.
A
and
lot of his cool
Lady,
parts.
Lady Mormont.
Yeah. All of Davos's cool parts are kind of missing, and yeah, if you want any more further cool things to happen, just read the books. They do shortcut a lot of stuff in the series, which makes it nice.
The Great War is here.
You're a great wall. Get it? Because he doesn't act well. He's just a stone-faced dude.
Oh, don't talk about Jon Snow that way.
Ice cold.
Ooh, Grey Worm is awesome.
Oh, he is.
But that was kind of weird in the trailer that, I'm assuming Missandei, is that how you pronounce her name?
Missandei?
Missandei?
I've heard the audiobook guy say Missandei, but he's mispronounced
he's
a
wrong.
bunch of people's
so
names.
Missandei rips his shirt open, but, I mean, he doesn't have any parts, so how far are you going to go?
That's why she's got to rip his shirt open.
So
He's got nips.
We got to do these multiple times because that's all.
Oh, he's
that's
got
all
nips.
we got. That's it. So That one's a little interesting. Of
What,
how
the Nips?
Well, okay, sure, but how they're building up this
The Nips.
this yeah, the Nips and this love between the two characters. I mean, I guess you can love somebody without.
So my theory, no, this isn't really a theory, but like what I'm thinking is going to happen is, once he finds true love, he dies because that's just how it's going to happen.
Grey Worm.
Because these were dedicated
sense.
soldiers that cared for no one, and
As soon as you care about somebody, you're gonna die.
Yeah, because like you got your mind clouded. Should have been thinking about the war, but you screwed up and weren't thinking of it, so you die.
Totally sucks.
That's totally a George R. R. Martin way to go out.
Speaking of dying, did you hear about spoilers? Did you hear about Ghost, the dog, the actor, the wolf that played the wolf in the show? He actually passed away.
Well, that kind of makes sense. It is 7 years out now.
Yeah.
And he was probably 5 when it started.
Yeah, very true. So, I love the wolves in the series as well. So
I think actually one of them is not really a wolf. It is just like a hybrid dog, and I want to say Sansa adopted hers.
We're talking about the actual.
Yeah, the actual things.
Yeah. She did adopt Lady, which was the dog in the show.
Yeah.
But so do you think that the other wolf is going to come back, Nymeria? Because they always hint and talk about the wolf, but
did you get far in the audiobooks? Or you just stopped? You kind of just listened here and there?
Yeah, I just kind of stopped.
So what happens in the books is Nymeria is actually still running around, annihilating a bunch of the twins' men. So that she's actually like, that wolf is just annihilating people. And while she's in Bravos, she can sleep connect with her wolf at that point. So she gets, all of her dreams are of her, like, I forgot what the word is. Warging.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's all of her dreams are her warging into her Nymeria. It's also, Nymeria is now the leader of a huge pack of wolves.
I did read up to that part. Yeah. So that's so interesting that they've built these wolves up so much in the books, yet in the show, the characters, like the wolf's probably not going to come back.
I think it's just hard to CG those dogs into the show. I don't know why. They are a huge part of the books, and they're not in the show at all. My favorite thing would have been for Ghost to annihilate Ramsay Bolton, not the dogs, and then the Ghost becomes the leader of all the dogs. Like, that would have been...
Yeah, that would have been really awesome.
People would say poetic justice, but, like, it'd be nice if it was just like, no, my dog is better than your dog, kind of thing. Like, and my dog will now rule your dogs.
Gosh, he was the worst character.
Ramsay Bolton?
Yeah, but that just is a testament to the great acting that I don't know. I
really like him as an actor just because I saw him in Misfits.
Yeah, I saw him there first too.
Yeah,
and so I hated his character. And so I thought probably because his acting is so great.
He has these crazy eyes, and he really pulls them off. Anyway, so what else did you think of the trailer?
I thought in this one I was going to see what do you call the snow demon wall? Dead things. Oh,
the White Walkers.
Yes. Yeah,
the Walter White Walkers.
Yeah. It's been so long since I've seen the show, I've forgotten all the terms. But yeah, I thought I was going to see in this trailer the king of the White Walkers or something like that.
So from my understanding, and this would all make sense, this season is all about Daenerys claiming the throne again. That's it. Like, that's as far as we're going to get. Next season, because they have to end it, that's the real war. And that's why it's only 6 episodes next season, not for season 8.
So season 8 is only 6 episodes, or this one is only 6 episodes?
Season 7 is 7 episodes.
Okay, so they've split it once again.
Yeah.
Okay, because there's only one book that needs to come out, right, to end the series?
Supposedly. He keeps adding to it. I think it's another 2 books that are coming out.
Wow.
Yeah.
I thought it was just the one. But I guess it was the one back in the beginning, but now it's turned into 2.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. I guess that's fine with me. This is one of my favorite shows that's out right now. This and The Walking Dead.
I don't know how you can keep watching that show.
Well, it's still interesting. I guess I have a zombie thing. The graphic novels were amazing and so much better compared to the actual show, but still interesting enough. So, I like it. So, Game of Thrones, Walking Dead, those are some of my top shows.
The last show that I watched kind of in real time was Legion. And I actually really enjoyed Legion.
Still haven't seen that.
It has problematic moments, but I think what it's trying to achieve is a lot more than most Marvel shows. Like most Marvel, I feel like every Marvel thing you watch has to set up for another Marvel thing. So whatever they're trying to do is hampered by that. Whereas this isn't setting up for anything.
Right.
It's set in the past, kind of. So it's really just its own little story arc. So it can kind of do whatever it wants with it. And so that makes it that much more interesting in how it interacts with the regular X-Men universe and everything.
Yeah, that's true. I think I did see the first episode, but I didn't continue. I meant to continue, so I should probably do that.
It's nice, I would say. Like, it doesn't...
Thought there was something more profound that was going to come out of you. It's adequate.
Well, I didn't want to spoil too much for you, yeah. And I was like, I was going to go into this whole thing, and no, it's just better if it comes as a surprise kind of thing.
Possibly. So I do know of the character. Legion as being his son.
Whoa! Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
Not everybody knows that.
Well, now they do. We can always cut it out. It's fine. But I do know about the character Legion, even though I didn't follow any comics on the character. Were there any comics? Hey, there had to be.
He had his own comic.
They were there. There were tons of comics.
Yeah, he had his own comic for a little while.
Okay, I don't think I have any of those comics over the 400 plus comics that I have. I don't think I have any of those.
But yeah, like with Legion, it's the way that it's shot, you're constantly questioning what's real, and that's kind of the best part because he does control reality. I just think it's really well done from that.
I also like the character that played in it. She's also in Parks and Rec.
Oh, Aubrey Plaza.
Yeah, she's awesome.
She is a delight in this show.
just a delight.
Yeah, she is a fine delight in this show.
She's pretty awesome. I like her in most of the parts that she plays.
Mm-hmm.
She's pretty good. Is it time for lightning round?
Oh, do you want to do lightning round? Okay.
Lightning round.
Lightning round it is. So we have concocted a bunch of questions for each other. Do you want to just go up to 3?
We can.
Okay, we'll see where this goes. These are just airy questions that we can answer kind of off the cuff, and we'll see how this goes. Ding, 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 ding.
Okay, me first.
Okay.
Since we're talking about superheroes and comic characters, who is your favorite Marvel hero or heroine? Is that how you say that? The lady hero.
Specifically Marvel?
Yes.
Oh gosh, that's hard because there's a lot of like weird ones. I don't really know many Marvel. I'm more of a DC fanboy. That being said, Batman v Superman is awful.
Answer it.
So in Marvel, it would probably have to be one of the most useless people.
Don't say it's someone from... Okay, go ahead.
Probably going to be Lockjaw from the Inhumans.
Okay.
He's not really useless. He's just an adorable bulldog that teleports everywhere.
All right, cool. I'm glad you explained that because I have no idea who that character is.
Yeah, so like a lot of the Inhumans are basically the reject mutants, sort of. They're basically alien-induced mutants. Because they're basically just regular people that... You know how like in Prometheus, people were smelling these orbs and were dying?
Okay.
Picture that, except they get superpowers instead of dying.
Okay.
They're these like Terrigen mists or whatever. And
do they live amongst...
No, they live in the sewer.
So it's kind of like the Morlocks for the X-Men X-Men storyline.
Well, no, they do have a base on the moon, but when they're on Earth, they kind of tend to hang out underground.
Okay, so like the Morlocks.
Yeah, I'm sorry, this is way long. What about you? What's your favorite Marvel?
No, that's fine. Of course, my favorite Marvel hero is Aurora Monroe. Storm. Aurora Monroe. Storm. She's awesome. I've always loved that character from the beginning, mostly because she's in tune with nature and can control the weather and things like that. So not because of her looks, even though she's badass in my opinion, especially 80s Storm.
Yeah.
It's probably one of my favorite depictions of her.
So my turn. Do you believe in ghosts?
Yes, I do believe in ghosts. I do believe in them. And I have seen some of them from time to time.
In what manner?
Kind of, not like how you would see them on TV. Kind of like this white, misty character comes into view. More so...
Casper.
Yeah, so not like Casper or, anything from the Ghostbusters. More so... I've seen family, like ancestors and things like that.
Okay, that makes a little more sense.
Right. So not just white spooky figures or something like that. What about you?
I want to say I half believe in ghosts. Like, I believe in entities and spiritual signatures that can be left by people, but I don't know if they're necessarily like the things that we think that they are. Like, I like to imagine they're more like energy imprints that are left behind by groups of people. Not necessarily like that they're sentient, like they actively know what they're doing most of the time and they can communicate with us. Because I don't know if that's necessarily the case. Because if that was true, then they're like, what the fuck is a cell phone? What the fuck is that thing? What the fuck is that? Like, they would be constantly be surprised. And maybe instead of saying, woo, like ghosts, they're like, woo, did you see that thing? Ooh. Electric cars. Ooh.
Okay.
That's my impression of ghosts.
Well done, chap. Well done. Okay, I'm still on heroes and things like that.
Okay.
Who was your favorite DC villain?
They're like all in the Lego Batman movie. They're my
You're shaking with excitement.
like that's my favorite place to go is DC universe. It's gonna be probably the Flash's Rogues Gallery. Someone in there, I don't care who it is. Let's go with the Trickster, just because he's the most useless one out of all of them. I like the Flash's Rogues Gallery because unlike all the DC unlike all the Gotham or Metropolis villains, these are kind of just regular dudes who are taking on a god. It's not like the other way around, where like, you have Metallo, whose heart is a piece of kryptonite and can easily take down Superman. Or it's not like the Joker, where he's completely a psychopath and you'll never be able to suspect where he's going to be, and he has all these plans and everything. One of the dudes is Captain Boomerang. He can throw a boomerang real good. That's his ability, There's the Trickster, who went to like Joker's clown college but failed out of it, and that's essentially it.
Those are real superpowers.
Yeah, like they're useless people. And I just like that writing perspective of, this isn't the most powerful or this isn't the most evil group of people. You identify with these people. You identify with these crooks because they're just trying to get by in life. And they have legitimate hate for certain people. But I think the funniest part is when they actually met the Flash and they beat the crap out of him because they were successful in doing it. They looked at him and were like, oh crap, is he dead? Oh, let's get the hell out of here. Like, they ran away. They didn't claim it or anything. They were so much like, we're not Gotham villains. We won't kill anybody. My God, we just wanted to rob a bank. That's it.
Right.
So that's why they're kind of my favorite. Like that whole Rogues Gallery of just regular dudes, just who are kind of on the villainy side, but they're really not. And they have specific challenges of living in a world where there's a Superman, and it's just amazing to see how they interact.
They're all just having a bad day.
Yeah, it's everyone's bad day. Okay. What about you?
Ooh.
Do you have a favorite DC supervillain?
Yeah, I have a favorite DC everything, but supervillain, Scarecrow.
Scarecrow?
Yeah, Scarecrow. I really love the mind manipulation with hallucinogens, and I think my favorite depiction of Scarecrow was in a Batman game. I don't remember which one it was, I think it was the
first Arkham Asylum?
Yeah, Arkham Asylum.
Yeah.
And that one board where it's Scarecrow's board and it turns into a almost like a 2D platform game, and you have to escape this, mental lock that Scarecrow has on you because of these hallucinogens, and how the syringes are part of his fingertips is just, I really like that character. Not so much how they have depicted his character in the films so far, but definitely the video games. I think I've actually liked the Batman video games more than most of the films that have come out.
That's totally understandable.
Yeah, they've really done an awesome job.
I like the games because they basically just made Scarecrow a low-grade Freddy Krueger.
Maybe that's why I like them so much. I really love 80s horror films, and so that would make sense.
Yeah, because he's just haunting your nightmares, and he has, instead of like the
So true.
knife fingers, he's got the needle fingers in the
Yeah.
game. Yeah. Speaking of which, my question was, what are you currently playing now?
Last video game I played was Horizon Zero Dawn.
How was that?
That game was beautiful. It's a beautiful game. The weapons I thought were really fun. If you don't know the storyline to it, they kind of, I don't want to give away too much, but so it's a post-apocalyptic game. You kind of know that it's spoilers, so you can click away for a second.
This is a very spoilery
It is.
episode.
We'll name it that.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert.
Nerd alert.
Yeah, that too. So you kind of find out as you're progressing through the game that you are in the future, yet all of the characters have been taken back to this primitive state. And so you're using weapons like a bow and arrow, a spear, and so you're taking the main character around to figure out the story, basically, of how all of the clans have gotten to this point. And so they're able to take over through technology some of the creatures that inhabit the land. And so you know that it's set into the future because there's robotic horses called striders, and there are these other robotic entities that look like
Spiders.
tiny tiny they're not called not the T-Rex, but what's the one that not
Velociraptor.
right, so there's this smaller one that's a Comptosaurus or something like that. So it kind of looks
I feel like you
that.
just made that up.
No, it was in a PlayStation 1 game, Jurassic Park, the first Jurassic Park game, or was it Jurassic Park 2? I don't remember, but it was the original PlayStation, and they had a Compy was the shortened version of it. So it's like Compy something. Look it up, it's true, damn it. But anyway, so this Watcher is what this creature is called. It kind of looks like that, and so they have these different types of robotic creatures that you will take over. Some of them use to your advantage, and
You gotta hump him into submission.
exactly.
Show him you're the alpha.
right. So I loved that game. That game was awesome.
Sweet.
Yeah, I don't think I really explained it that much, but
You explained it.
Fun.
You explained it with such compassion that I believed you. And I don't know where it was, but I believe you.
Good enough.
All I know is that you made up a dinosaur from Jurassic Park.
It's real.
So I'm actually playing Overwatch still and Paragon.
I tried playing Paragon, but I think
It's so much easier to learn now. I will say, like, back when you and I tried it, it was an awful, awful tutorial that didn't explain jack. So
it was really overwhelming. But even still now, I think it is a game where I have to play with friends. Like
definitely.
I cannot play by myself. I tried playing the game, and it was just not that it was too much or too overwhelming as it was initially when the first time the beta came out. But even now, it's just, I don't know, every time I die, I have to go all the way back to spawn.
Yeah.
The character that, I don't know the characters very well, so the first one that I picked, I guess, was really shitty and disappointing.
It was really hard to figure out who you're good with. But hilariously, and I, when we played last time, we just randomly picked our characters, and we destroyed the other team. Those characters we never even played before, so I had to use a default deck and everything like that.
It seems like it's a game that's better with friends.
Yeah, to coordinate especially. Because we've been able to do a lot of really good things. Same thing with Overwatch. I cannot hype that game enough. I really love that game.
I like Overwatch.
Yeah?
I don't have it, but when I played the beta, it was fun. And those characters were much easier to just jump into and figure out versus the Paragon characters, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's what makes it so great. They really thought about how easy it is for somebody to pick up and play. Like, an average Paragon game is about an hour, an average Overwatch game, if you're really good, you can crush it in like 3 minutes.
I think that was one thing that really annoyed me about Paragon, is that once I started, and I was like, oh, this character's shitty, I don't want to play with this character anymore. But I still had to stay in the game, so I just just did a hard reset on my PlayStation. Like, I don't want to play this anymore, but you're locked in. It was really, it was super annoying. But in Overwatch, my favorite character was definitely the meditation guy with all the balls. I don't know.
So you like a guy with a lot of balls.
Most definitely. He was the only one that was able to take him out the way that I wanted. So that guy was awesome. Who's that character?
Big Ball Billy.
No, love him. I love Big Ball Billy. This is fantastic.
So, what's your next question?
What is your role in the zombie apocalypse?
You know what this is. Why did you ask this question? So my role in the zombie apocalypse is to become King Zombie. I want to be the first one bitten, or one of the first bitten. It doesn't have to be the first one. I like the top 10, the first 10.
The first 10?
Yeah.
So you're not going to be patient 0? You're okay with just being top 10?
I'm okay with being I've lowered it now. I just, because being patient 0 most likely means you're probably going to die. I just want to infect maybe 2 other people. Because essentially, zombieism is just a pyramid scheme, and I just want to be kind of at the top of the pyramid. Because really, I just want to have all my limbs intact, and so I could kind of just do nothing.
But eventually, that you are going to deteriorate after some time.
Oh, surely, yeah. But I don't have to recreate society. I don't have to do any of that shit. Like, that's hard. Like, I don't want to have to rediscover farming. Or, like, I don't want to have to, like, figure out how to put a power grid back together and then, fight a bunch of other cannibals. I'm with the good guys, actually. I'm just cleanup crew for a crappy Earth.
Wow. Fair enough.
What is your role in the zombie apocalypse?
Well, I have 2 answers.
Okay.
So, answer 1, if you are King Zombie, then I will task myself with taking you out. So I'm going right where
you got to wait for everybody else. This is a pyramid scheme. You got to go through the 5 guys I infected and the 5 guys that each one of those guys infected.
Fair enough. My job, I don't want you to live like that. So my job is...
I'm okay with that. I will promise I will try not to bite anybody else. I just want to be left alone, honestly.
If you're one of the top 10, you're vicious, dangerous. So I have to give you a swift axe kick to the forehead.
No, it's like 1 out of every 100 zombies is lazy. And I'm that one.
To end your suffering, and as your friend...
It's not suffering. I'm doing all right.
That is my task to take you out.
I'm doing okay.
Okay, so answer 2 would be, my role is... You know what?
You don't know. Will you help me? Will you be my first pyramid scheme zombie?
Absolutely not. I will definitely be one of the survivors. You know what? I think I would be a queen of a fort. Queen
Fortress?
Queen of a fort. Yes, I will be the one to tell everyone what they should do. So I will man the fort. So we need foragers. We need people to protect and dig trenches with spikes in it around our dwellings.
Not like... As a zombie king, I shouldn't be advising you like this, but ideally, what I've thought of numerous
Survivor
times...
Queen.
No, from zombie king to Survivor Queen, my advice to you is to just take over an Amish community, because they already have everything done, like, that you would need to be self-sustaining. Just set up barriers and prevent...
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I know how to do all that. So we'll plant food, we will sustain ourselves with the trenches and the spikes in them, and yeah, it'll be good.
Yeah, I'll just tell my people, to call your people.
Yeah.
And then that's it. We'll just call you guys. We're phone zombies. We're just like, God, I got like 20 messages today.
That's how you think you sound with me. Meanwhile, we're on the phone and you're like, I'm like, damn it.
You see Guardians of the Galaxy 3 yet?
I'm coming for you, B. I'll take you out of your misery.
Yeah, all right. I'll be in the movie theater talking crap about the last Marvel movie.
Sound like Beetlejuice. So you essentially be Beetlejuice.
Yeah, just call my name 3 times and I'll just I'll show up. So my last question for you. is what is your guilty pleasure movie? Like a movie that you really like, but you're really embarrassed about.
Oh, really embarrassed about? Oh, man, this is a hard one. I don't think there is a movie that I would be embarrassed to watch. So
Or that you're
guess,
embarrassed that you like?
No, not really, but I will say a guilty pleasure would probably be The Color Purple, because it's a sad movie, and so I like to watch it when I'm sad.
Not really embarrassing.
So
a lot of people identify with that movie.
Be even sadder and cry with the characters. I guess that would be embarrassing for me.
Oh, just the fact that you're watching it and weeping.
Yeah.
A weep watch.
Yeah, exactly, because most of the movies that I will watch are horror films or action films with a lot of blood and guts, but then at the same time, it's like, oh, I'm having a sad day. Well, let's watch The Color Purple. Let's see more sad things. So, definitely The Color Purple. And I've probably seen that film maybe about 22 times.
Wow.
Yeah.
So how long is the movie?
It's a lot of crying.
A lot of crying.
It's a lot of crying. How long is that movie?
It's like 2 hours, right?
It may be 2 hours, or it could be longer than that, because I have the DVD and there are two
Comes
discs.
in 2 discs that you have to pop out?
Yeah.
No, that is definitely a 3-hour movie.
It could
That's
be.
Lord of the Rings long.
Yeah, it could be. It could be. I haven't checked it because, I've got the time. on a sad day. I know that's all I'm doing for the rest of the evening.
So you spent 66 hours of your life watching this movie. Not saying it's a bad...
that?
Yeah. I mean, it's not that hard math, but I mean, yeah.
See how embarrassing that is?
You've weeped for 66 hours.
Straight. 66 hours straight.
Man, that's a good weekend. I don't necessarily have a guilty pleasure of a movie either. Like, I don't really... I guess Batman v Superman.
But you hate that film.
No, I'm just kidding. Yeah. That was an awful film. No, I'm trying to think of any film that I'm embarrassed that I like. I guess it would be a rom-com, because I actually really do like a lot of rom-coms. But I'm going to go with an obscure one, which is a Korean movie called Sad Movie. And it's super corny and super cheesy. But I was on a plane to the Philippines, and so it was like hour 12 of a 16-hour flight.
Oof.
And at the end of the movie, I was weeping so hard. I was just an ugly mess at the end of that movie.
So you're an ugly crier as well.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it was awful. But then what made me feel good about it is I saw several other women, particularly women only, who were watching the movie. It was just me and like 12 other women just like bawling our eyes out at the end of the movie. And I found out it's kind of an average Korean movie. Like, it's not their best.
You sure they weren't watching The Color Purple?
Yeah, like probably somebody had their own like iPad or something like that on the plane. We're like, oh man, The Color Purple again. I've never seen the movie. I can't tell.
Yeah, I can see. You can see as you reference that with the title.
Oh man, The Color Purple got me again. You did it, Oprah.
That's awesome.
Was that it for lightning round, or you got another one?
One last one.
All right, awesome.
Which magical and or mythological creature would you ride off into the sunset with?
Magical creature?
Yes.
That's Falcor.
Falcor?
Yeah.
So you would ride off on a luck dragon?
That's the one that makes the most sense.
That's pretty awesome.
It would be Falcor or Lady Rainicorn from Adventure Time.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
Interesting enough, I one of my answers would have been a unicorn. I didn't get as fancy as Lady Rainicorn or Falcor, just your standard unicorn.
Yeah, just a standard unicorn.
Or
from
dragon.
From regular show, where they're just a huge jock bro.
Either that, or I guess it's kind of boring, but I suppose a dragon. So
bringing it right back from the beginning, Game of Thrones.
Specifically, Kohaku from Spirited Away. My favorite anime of all time.
That dude was a dick.
I know, I love him so much. Perfect.
So I guess for future reference, just neg you until you ride.
Neg me until I ride. Exactly.
Well, that's a good way to end the episode. All right, see you next week, folks.
Bye. Yeah, what is it, 3 hours? Fuck.